Ah, yes! There we are. Alrighty. Hello, everyone! Yo, it's Neutopia time! Alrighty. Thanks all for watching all weekend long. My name is Vaughn. I am going to be your next run here. We are going to be running Neutopia, which is a TurboGrafx 16 game. There's a decent portion of the RGL TV crew that are, I should say, strong aficionados of this wonderful video game system. So I'm happy to bring you a game from it, one of its better games, in my opinion. So what I'm actually going to be doing today is I'm actually going to be doing the 100% category of this, and what that's going to entail is going to be picking up, I will be obtaining every single sword upgrade, every single shield upgrade, all the armor upgrades, all the bomb upgrades, and all but one of the life upgrades. And the reason for that is because there are 4 extra ones to get. However, you only need to get 3 in order to completely fill out your life bar. So I'm going to be skipping the one that takes the longest to get to, obviously. So that's what we'll be doing. Speaking of doing, let's do the thing. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so here's our lore. We are chilling in Neutopia one night when the evil wizard Dirth beams himself down into the temple, steals Princess Aurora, and beams himself back to his lair in Antarctica. And then once the sun rises, we summon our hero here. Everyone say hello to Jazeta. He's going to be our hero for the day. We are going to listen to this lady talk a bunch. Oops, sorry. What she's telling us is that in order to break the seal to Dirth's evil lair, our hero Jazeta must collect the 8 medallions of the elders from the past, and affix them there in the temple in order to open the way. So the first item we get here is what's called the Book of Revival. What this will allow us to do is it'll allow us to save our game. This is important for 2 reasons. First of all, safety saves. It's a marathon. Second of all, if you save and reset, then you come back with all of your life back to full, which is pretty important for a couple sections that can be pretty scary. We make a detour here to talk to this elderly gentleman. And we're going to grab a couple of items here that we just need just to help us throughout the way. Those are boom bombs. And this is medicine. Alright. So now we're ready to really embark. Now, that Book of Revival that I got, the one on this screen here with the staircase, if you're doing any percent world record or PB attempt, you skip that. You try to go through the game without saving or refilling at all. But because this is, I have to get it for 100%, but even in a marathon setting, I would get it anyway, just to make sure that I don't rip, because this run is actually fairly difficult. There are plenty of pain points where it's fairly easy to die. So even if that happens, we're going to be good. All right, now we're going to pick up arguably the most important item, or the most useful item, I should say, in the entire game. This here is the Fire Wand. We are going to be using this to assault a multitude of enemies, as well as clear paths and openings to get other things that we will need. And we'll start using that wand here in just a couple minutes. But first we got more walking. So the way that this game works as far as how you traverse through it is that the overworld is actually split into 4 different overworlds, which are referred to as spheres. They are the land sphere, the subterranean sphere, the sea sphere, and then the sky sphere. And in fact, we're going to do them in that order, not by choice, but because by requirement. It is linear. Each of the 4 spheres, contains 2 crypts or dungeons that we will need to clear in order to grab those medallions that I was talking about in the very beginning. Once you clear the 2 crypts in each of the spheres, it will then open the way to the next one. So that's how it's linear. This is not related to Soul Blazer or Illusion of Gaia in any way. This is its own. This was kind of the TurboGrafx 16's. They wanted to attract the fans of the Legend of Zelda series. You might notice a rather long list of similarities between that game and this one, as has been pointed out by many people when I run this in marathon settings. So yeah, but no relation to any other games. This was its own franchise. There actually is a sequel to this. It's a fun but very difficult game. One that I haven't really looked into speedrunning just because it's pretty crazy. There's a lot of RNG that you need to depend on, especially in the beginning. So, I haven't gotten into that yet. So, this is actually the second crypt here. What we're going to be doing is so in each sphere, like I said, there's two crypts. One is decidedly more difficult than the other. We're always going to do the more difficult dungeon first, because either the items within the dungeon or the items on the way to the dungeon are very important, and we want to get those sooner. So that's why we do that. There's going to be a pretty important upgrade that we're going to get in here. We'll get it in about a minute, and it'll make fighting through the first part of this game much easier. All right. So this is going to be the first instance of us using the boom bombs in a crypt to blow open a wall. I know we used it to get the life upgrade earlier. Speaking of bombs, I'd really like it if this guy gave me one, and he didn't. Okay. So what I'm picking up here is the key. Every crypt requires you to get the key in it in order to open the door to the boss's room. So it is a required item for each crypt that we're going to go into. One thing that is important to note about just kind of the mechanics of playing this game, but then also kind of an element of strategy and difficulty when it comes to the speedrun, is how the fire wand works. Now, the fire wand can do much more damage and cover much more area than it currently does, but doing so is relative to the total amount of life that you have currently, not your maximum, but what your current life total is. We won't get to kind of the next grade of fire until I have 8 full life. So we just picked up a sword upgrade here. This is something that you would normally get in any percent, because it is very important for the next 4 bosses that we're going to fight. Well, actually, really the next 5 bosses, I should say. So getting it is a very important time save. It's only a 1-room detour. Oh, there's bombs that I need. I'm going to need another... No, actually, no, I don't. I just need 1 pack. So the fact that I've got that, we're good. All right. Oh, come on. All right. Alrighty. Have to kill all the enemies in here to open the door below me. Need another bomb here. Alright, we're getting pretty close to the boss's room. Didn't mean to do that. But I got some life back. That's nice. Alright, so here comes the first boss. Let's see if I can 2-cycle him. Looking good. This is going to be tough now. Nope. Screwed that up. Oh, shoot. Now I got to play this a little more safe. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, this all went pear-shaped. Oh, boy. Oh, shoot. Wow. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Oh, that worried me for a second. So, getting through that boss properly really requires proper timing with your sword stabs. Yeah, that was a close call, folks. I'm not even going to try to. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm not even going to try to, play that one cool. I almost ripped. So, but thankfully we didn't. All right, so now we're off to technically the first crypt. You're going to notice that I'm going to just cruise through this next one. Because it's very easy. I have the sword upgrade, already, which if you were doing the crypts quote unquote in order, you wouldn't have. So it's going to make fighting certain enemies, including the boss, much easier. So all right. One other element of this game that is important to pay attention to when you're speed running it is enemy behavior, specifically how they move when you enter a room. Some enemies will always move in a set pattern or direction, whereas others are always completely random, like that guy right there that just decided to snipe me. So, the ones that I know are going to move in a certain direction, I will certainly use that to my advantage to make sure that I can either avoid them and or kill them very quickly. This is one of the ones that's random. This is one of my least favorite rooms in the game because the bats can do this. They could go and hide in the corner and just make it much more difficult for me to kill them or just take a longer time. There we go. Have to kill all of them so I can push this block and get this key, which you would need to get in anyway, so that's what we're doing. Yo, shoutouts to the strongest armor. Yes, I will definitely be obtaining that. All the armor has different names. There's like the steel armor, the bronze armor, but then the final upgrade is literally called the strongest armor. Speaking of an armor upgrade, that's what we're going to obtain in this room here. So you might see that I'm just leaving those coins on the ground, not really caring about them. I'm not going to buy anything over the course of this game, so money is of no consequence. There is one thing that you can do, for safety, that you can buy once you're in the C sphere. However, on the way to get those things, there's a place that you can go in where a dude will just hand you 1,000 gold, which is more than enough to buy the things that you need. Or it's just about enough. One of the two, I forget. I haven't done it in a while, so I forget. Okay, and we'll kill him. And we'll kill him. And now we can go into the boss fight. Oops! Dang it. Stabbed early. That's alright. Because we have the armor upgrade, we can just go ahead and tank his hits. He's really not a threat at all. Please die, though. That'd be great. Thank you. Oh no, am I dropping? Oh, I'm dropping so many frames. Sorry about this, folks. Oh man, we're just gonna have to slog through this, it looks like. Ah, sorry about that. Alright. Hopefully it kind of calms down. Alright, so we've finished the first two crypts. I know, I'm sorry. Finished the first two crypts, and now we are into the subterranean sphere. Moving through this sphere is definitely much more, requires much more care than it does in the first one. This is where the run definitely starts to get interesting. When you don't make it interesting by goofing around on the robot boss like I did. It looks like it's calmed down, which was probably a really stupid thing to say, because I know I'll probably start dropping more frames in about 5 seconds, but shoot. So here's a great example of the enemies moving in the way that I want them to, or that I know what they're going to do. Those golden kind of ant-looking enemies, they will always walk to the left, and we're going to see a very strident demonstration of this in just a few seconds. Oops, got to keep walking. Okay. Alrighty. These worms can be very annoying, but if you kind of know what their general pattern is, then you can avoid them. These kind of pig soldiers, however, always move in a random direction. See, those ants always move left, but that's not even the best one. It's coming up here. All right, on this next screen here, the arrow's pointing at these 4 ants, and everybody go left. Run away from the guy you're supposed to be damaging. All right, unfortunately, these kind of rock-throwing demon guys are nice, and they let me get all the way over to the left side of the screen so I could wrap around that corner quickly on the next one. All right, so we push that block, reveal that staircase, and then we will pick up here the rainbow drop. What this will allow us to do is to it creates a like a little step ladder or a bridge, if you will, and you can traverse 1 tile wide gaps of like rivers or holes or things like that. We actually need it to get into this next dungeon. All right, YOLO line? Yes, okay. If the enemies cooperate there, you can just walk straight up and you're good. All right, so we're going to make a stop into here. We're just going to mash through everything this lady puts in front of us, and I just saved the game. The reason why we do this in Japanese is why you do a lot of games in Japanese as opposed to the English version. Text scrolling in the Japanese version is much, much faster than it is in English. It probably, this run is just short of an hour. It probably saves well over a minute in just text scrolling to do it in Japanese. Ooh, I'll take that. All right. So now you notice that the fire as I was using it was kind of those little balls that were moving back and forth. Well, now that I have 8 life, you see it's kind of like these fire column things. That's a byproduct of kind of like the upgrade that I was talking about. Okay. So this is actually the first detour that I would make as opposed to any percent to get an item that's going to be in this room to the left here. I'm going to be picking up the next armor upgrade. Now, let's see if I do this first try. Oh, did I? Oh, no. All right, so we're going to tank a little bit of damage here. There is a manipulation that you can do if the RNG is cooperating with you, where you can have that turret fire in a way that you can walk down. You can walk down that little corridor there, and nothing will hit you. I didn't quite get it there. I thought I might have, but I didn't. So that's fine. All right. So these ghost enemies are particularly annoying for a couple reasons. First of all, you can only hit them with the sword. The fire wand will do no damage to them. Why am I standing here letting him hit me? The second is that they can disappear, which is very cowardly. But it's especially troublesome if you pick up one of the hourglasses that an enemy can drop. Now, what the hourglass does is it stops time in the room for all the enemies, and you can just hit them freely. They can still damage you, though. This is a prime example of where it can happen in here, is in this room. If they are disappeared when you grab that hourglass, they will not reappear until the timer runs out. And because I have to kill all of the enemies in this room in order to progress, if I pick up an hourglass when I shouldn't, I basically have to sit there and wait for about, I want to say it's about 15 to 20 seconds for it to wear off so that they can reappear and I can kill them and move on. Which is extremely irritating. We didn't have to deal with it there, so that's fine, I guess. Alrighty. We're going to be picking up the key for this crypt here. And then next stop is going to be the boss. There we go. So the Moonbeam Moss, the item that I picked up on my way to this crypt, it was that little glowing jar thing. What that will do is if you use it in a room that's dark, like the one that I was just in with all those kind of mushroom enemies that were shooting at me, is it will light it up. Many of the dark rooms in here, I know what they look like. However, there are going to be some rooms where I will want to use it. All right, time for a very serious boss here. Yeah, that was my boy Stunlock Earwig, as I have named him. The way that that works is that he normally stretches all the way out and chases you down, and you can only damage him by hitting his tail. However, all of his segments can be affected by Stunlock, even though you're not actually doing any real damage to them per se. But you can basically just bounce him off the wall and hit all the segments, including his tail, which is where he takes damage, and he dies. Very easy. All right, another detour here. This is for 100%. I'm going to be picking up a bomb upgrade. The person that I talked to in here after I killed this ant is going to increase my bomb capacity by 4, as well as fill my capacity to full. So now I can carry up to 12. Like I said, there's 2 more upgrades of this sort here. Dang it. So I will be able to carry up to 20 bombs. I will never really need that many. But in order to satisfy 100%, that's what we're going to do. All right. So the theme of this crypt is I basically just use bombs to get everywhere. We're going to talk to this prisoner here, and then we're going to pick up the bronze shield. This is going to allow us to block the blue shots that come from enemies. There's 2 more shield upgrades that we'll be getting over the course of this run. The last of which we don't quote-unquote need as far as the types of shots that it would block. But again, for 100%, we get it anyway, because it's 100%. These things are kind of annoying. Alright, so here we're going to use the Moonbeam Moss just because it's a lot easier to navigate, going around the blocks, as well as what block I will need to push once they're all dead. And it is this one right here. Got to push it again. Alrighty, so next stop now is the boss. I like to call them the Dagger Twins, and you'll see why. We're going to do a little bit of a manipulation as how we enter the room, and it's going to get one of them to move in a desirable position to kill them quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk in the very center, walk to the right of this cross tile and straight up, and he will just stay up here against this wall. Now his buddy, on the other hand, there's a little bit of RNG there. Go straight down. That's good enough. Oops. Keep running into him, but that's okay. Still, with that armor upgrade that we get, you can tank those hits. Not a big deal. Alright. So, we have recovered the two medallions from the crypts in the subterranean sphere. And now we are on to the sea sphere. This is probably the most, between, you know, the optimal way that you go through the overworld here, as well as the crypts themselves. This is the most difficult section of the speed run, in my opinion, and it's not even close. So a few things we're going to pick up on the way to the crypt here. One is going to be another life upgrade. This is something that you would normally get in... this is something that is normally obtained in the any % route as well, because you want to, along with the upgrade that we get in the first sphere, you want to get all of that precious life so that you can upgrade your fire wand to the next level, because once you're able to use the next level of fire, you can do, it makes the game a lot easier, and you can do mass amounts of damage. Another bomb upgrade is what we got there. And then in a few more screens, we will be obtaining yet another very important upgrade, one that we would also get in any % as well. And you'll see why. Oh, you coward. Get back here. And you, show yourself. Perfect. Alright. So we talked to this very fashionable gentleman. And he gives us the Falcon shoes. And quite simply, these double your movement speed. Which is not only very important for going fast, hello, this is a speed run, but also when it comes to maneuvering around some of the trickier enemies that you're going to be encountering here, having that extra movement speed is very important. That was close. Alright, so... gonna make a quick little stop in here. What are those? See how big, like... this lady is going to help me save my game. And now I'm done with her. And now we move on to the most harrowing crypt in the game, in my opinion. Crypt number 6. Not only for getting through it, but also the boss there. So... this crypt is our introduction to these wizard enemies. These wizard enemies can be extremely difficult to deal with for various reasons. First is that when they shoot out that blue shot there, it will stop your fire in its tracks. So you can't just sit there and just bomb shots at it and just, you know, go toe-to-toe with it. You have to maneuver around it. Whoops. Another are these kind of like zombie armadillo things. You can only damage them with your sword. They also move in kind of an erratic pattern, which makes doing close combat with them not favorable. Another introduction here are these kind of wisp enemies. Now, they only move diagonally. However, they can change direction at any point. So it can make kind of pinning them down with the fire wand, which is the best way to damage them, kind of annoying. So... okay, now we get through here. We do have to make this detour here because we're getting the key. And then we do have to kill these little armadillo things in order to push the block to open the door to get out of here. So that item that you see sitting there on the floor, those are wings. in any percent... Oh, and I just got one too. So what those do is they return you to the point where you last saved. In any percent, they're completely useless. All 4 enemies in here drop wings. That's crazy. We will use them at the very end of this run once we get the final upgrade that we need to satisfy the any percent. Okay, now... this next room is going to be a bit tricky. In fact, I'm going to light my way, because I am going to have to do straight-up combat with these guys. So the way that we kind of try to approach fighting them is to hit them diagonally, because they can only shoot in the 4 cardinal directions, and they will shoot as soon as you line up with their current X or Y axis. So what we'll do is we'll take that opportunity to get them to shoot, and then we can hit them with the diagonal shot. Get them to shoot, hit them diagonally, get them to shoot, hit them diagonally. That's how you do it. Now, fighting 1 or 2 of them is fine. 3 or 4 of them, not so fine. So that can get pretty troublesome. But we were able to get through there. I do have 2 potions. There's another one in this dungeon too that I can get if I need it. It's not that much of a detour, so we should be fine. We should be just fine. All right. Got to kind of move around the blocks that are in here, and we just want to clear those enemies out. Oh, you troll! Oh my goodness! All right. Oh boy. Whoops. Alright, so we're going to be getting to the point where I'm going to need to use a potion soon. We're not there quite yet, but we're close. So, got to be careful here, and yeah, I think I'm pretty much at that point. I tell you what, I'm going to fight these guys with my sword as much as I can. Let's see how it goes. Not very well. That's not a good start. Let's go ahead and just save that potion until we absolutely need it. Having the armor upgrade here, which you normally wouldn't in any percent, is definitely a big help. You take less damage from them, so it's not too scary here. There we go. Okay, I know I am going to need... I'm most likely going to be taking some damage here. So let's get that on. Alright, we're going to pop that potion there. Okay. So this is one of the more terrifying rooms in the game because... Oh my goodness. Not only do I have to fight another 4 of these wizards, but... I'm just going to go ahead and use this now. But there's also a bunch of blocks in here. There's like a... It's like kind of like a rectangle of blocks in here that make fighting them, and you have to fight at them in closer quarters than you would otherwise like. So what I now have is literally the strongest armor. Ah, jeez. But I did have to use both of my potions in order to get there. So I will be taking a detour. Actually, in this room here, I might as well just do it now. To pick up another potion, because I will certainly be needing it for later. Can I please just kill this guy? Okay, there we go. So 2 of them are dead already. That's fine. Oops, shouldn't have switched off bombs yet. That's right, I got to bomb this too. Okay. Alright, so there's a little safety medicine. So we'll be in good shape for what we need to do. For the rest of this next section. Oh, that's damage I didn't feel like taking. Okay. Alright, so very close to the boss room here. Just gotta fight these wizards here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now these red shots, not only can I not block them, but they will stop my fire shots too. So it makes having to deal with these wizards in here as well a bit difficult. Alright, so here's Poverty Trinex. This is certainly going to be the longest boss fight of the game, and it can also be the most harrowing too. However, the nice thing is that pretty much everything is on a set pattern here. The only thing that isn't on pattern is which direction those heads are going to pop out. So the way that the heads move is that they will bounce off walls. And then always, after a set amount of time, return to their spots on the turtle body there. Now, what the turtle body will do is every time it pauses, when it starts moving again, it will move. It will start moving to your current location. Now, what we like to do is this right here. Just bounce the head off the wall and just do stun lock. All right. Oh shoot! I got to use that potion. I don't want to risk it because I'm almost certainly going to be taking damage in this next room here. Man. Oops. Glad I used that potion. I mean, I had the safety save, but I don't want to use it. There's other potions that I will be able to get, so it's not that big a deal. Oh boy. Man, I'm making a mess of this. Come on. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Alright, Poverty Trinex down. Yeah, like I said, that's easily the longest boss fight in the game, including the final boss. Just because there's a lot of randomness there. So, alright. Alright, so back into the sea sphere we go. Now, if you're running any percent and you're going for a PB or a world record or whatnot, this is easily the most harrowing section in the game because what you want to do is optimally get through this part of the sphere and the crypt without taking any damage at all, because now I have 12 life, which means that I've got the strongest form of fire. And the strongest form of fire is what's needed to quick kill the final boss. Now, this detour that we're doing here is to pick up a shield upgrade. This is by far the longest detour that you need to take to get an item to satisfy the 100% category. All right, now that hit that I just took there, even though you don't see any segments of life coming off there. I got a cherry there. That's nice. So we're back in business. Don't touch me. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, so lost strongest fire again. But here we go. This is the fire shield. This will now allow us to block the blue and the red shots that come from enemies. So that's being able to block the red shots is definitely nice. Alright, there's still hope that I can get a cherry drop from an enemy here and get back to where I need to be. So I'm actually going to take a little extra time to do some kills that I might not normally, just to see if I can get that. Or just take more damage. That works too. Cool. Alright, never mind. Because even if I get a cherry now, I might not be completely full on that bar, and it might still be, I might need 2, and to expect to get 2 cherry drops from enemies is, that's... Oh, wait a minute, do I have best fire? Nope. See, that's what I thought. That kind of stinks. Oh well. Alright. Alright. So, we need to go into here. This is kind of a little... this is a detour that you need to do. There's a prisoner that we need to talk to up here. And then as soon as we talk to him, we leave. This isn't an actual quote-unquote crypt, per se. This is just this kind of story-based thing that you have to do. And you need to do this in order to enter the next crypt. This is the only crypt where it has something like this. I don't know why just this particular one is the way it is, but we have to do this in order to progress in the game. Simple as that. All right. Ooh, whoops. Usually like to enter that screen a little lower just to be safe, but that's fine. Alrighty. I hate it when they walk into the stairs like that there. That's where I need to go. Get out of my way. There we go. Okay. Strongest fire. I unfortunately don't have it. I will need 2 cherries in order to get it. I am not counting on that by any stretch. That would be foolish of me to think that that would be happening. Hello. There you go. Okay. Need to bait out those swords so that we can just walk past it. Whew, that was pretty close. There we go. You think I'll get lucky, huh? Well, I mean, I saw Glitchless how she was rolling dice in her last run, so if any of that luck passes over, then yeah, I'm not very optimistic. Alrighty, so there's a bunch of arrow plates in here. But luckily we know where we're going, so we're fine. We ignore him, bust our way through here. Hey, cat. GG on your Vegas stakes run. Alright, I gotta kill all this random collection of enemies here in order to push a block to open that door up there, which is going to give us the key. And then we're actually going to get a weapon upgrade in short order here too, which, because I'm not going to be able to do the quick kill on the boss, is actually going to help that go a little faster. This is true. This is true. They're stacked against you in Neutopia as well. That's probably a lesser known fact than what you normally experience in Vegas. Alright, so we got the key. Alright, so now, again, we're going to go left. Normally we would go down here. We normally skip this sword upgrade in any percent. Oh boy. Oh wow, that was close. You can only have 3 of these fire columns on the screen at once. So, because they move so slowly, it makes being judicious with them very important, because if you miss, then they're just going to keep rolling and rolling. That helps. Alrighty. So here is our bronze sword. So that's actually we're gonna have to kill this next boss with the sword as opposed to the strongest fire. So having that is actually kind of nice. It'll make it go a little faster. I think by a couple cycles actually. Hello. There we go. Okay, so this next room has the boss. Strangely enough, this is the only room pre-boss that doesn't have any enemies in it. This is Mr. Crab. This takes a lot of counting of his steps to do properly, so I'll probably go quiet here for a minute. That's not what we wanted to see. There we go. I wasn't counting the number of hits. I want to say it was somewhere in about the 15 range. If you don't have the sword upgrade, that takes 24 hits to kill him with your sword. So having that is nice. All right. So we are now done with the sea sphere. Now on to the final sphere. This is the sky sphere. Of the 4 spheres, we will definitely be doing the most walking around in this one, as opposed to the other 3, by far. So you're going to get to see a lot of this and hear a lot of the great music. That's something I haven't even... Wow, I'm 44 minutes into a Neutopia run, and I haven't even mentioned the music yet. The music in this game is outstanding. It's one of the things that I remember... from when I played this game, from many, many years ago, is that the music was just so great. As well as this game being a lot of fun. Very challenging, but also very fun. So, yeah. And the music here in the Sky Sphere, certainly does not disappoint. All right. Shoot. Alrighty. Now I'm going to do a save and reset before I get to the crypt here. So a lot of the damage that I'm taking here ultimately isn't really going to be a problem, but that doesn't mean that I want to just tank my way through everything, especially if I have good fire, which I don't anymore, so now it's time to just go. Alright, but we are going to make a detour here, which I normally end up doing during my any percent runs, my world record. I do this in both categories. As we take a stop in here, we're going to get double medicine here, as well as, I'm just going to go ahead and refill my bombs, might as well. Do we have the bell? Not yet. The bell will actually come in this next crypt that I go into. The bell is very nice to have, and I will show you why in just a minute. Okay, get out of my way. Thank you. Appreciate that. You can do the same. Awesome. Now, as for you guys, okay, cool. That's good. Don't touch me, thank you. Appreciate that. Oh. Okay, here we go. So we've reached the save point. So that was a save and reset, and you notice my life is now back to full. Don't go left, thank you. Awesome. All right, so now I definitely don't want to take damage because, like I said, ooh, nice. This next crypt is the longest. Not necessarily the most difficult, but there's still plenty of opportunities to take damage that you don't want to. So let's avoid that. There we go. All right. So you see the power of best fire here. It just mows through everything. Or strongest fire, however you'd like to call it. Please get him. Thank you. Okay, good. Because having strongest fire for these next 2 rooms is very important. Or I shouldn't say very important, but it just makes it a lot faster. You know, I'm going to go ahead and use this just to be sure. All right. Good. Opens up this staircase here. Ooh, boy, that was close. Almost got hit right in the face by that guy. Luckily, I didn't. Oh, dang it. I'm still good, though, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so. We're going to pop down here. Kill all those guys. Now, this is called the Bell of the Sky. This is an extremely useful item. We definitely get this in any percent, too. What this does is when you ring it, any room where you would normally need to either push a block or kill all of the enemies to open a door, ringing the bell will open the door anyway. So that door is closed. Now it is open. Same in here. Open sesame. All right. Here we go. I don't have to kill everything in here because I just used the bell that I was talking about. But again, I don't want to take damage, so we avoid that. We also avoid dealing with anything in here because we just don't need to. All right. Another fantastic use of the bell. Fighting that thing which moves quickly and erratically is no fun. So we just bell our way through instead. Alrighty. Don't care what you have to say. We just want to move on here. Push them out of the way. Now normally you would need to fight the skeleton in this room in order to make that staircase right there appear. However, I ain't got time for that. So we don't deal with it. Alright, so hello, pick it up. Thank you very much. He did get a visitor. His loneliness abated, if but for a moment. Alright. Don't want to worry about killing these spirit bird things, so we won't. We'll just ring the bell and make this staircase appear. Alright, now this next room sucks. Because those skeletons are easily the most difficult thing to deal with. They can only be damaged by your sword. Ooh, there we go. However, getting all those guys pinned into that corner with best fire was a delight. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do here might seem a little silly, however, it's very necessary. I'm going to pop this potion here to fill up those two segments in order to do a quick kill on this boss, which I will concentrate to do. Oh boy, did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Nope. Okay. That's not going to be too big a deal, hopefully. I was just off a little bit on my timing, which is all you need sometimes. Nope. Oh, which way are you going? There we go. There we go. Okay, good. Casually, that boss is terrifying. He's extremely difficult to deal with. Now, what you can do is if you have the best fire and you move in that specific pattern that I did when I came into the room, you can get him to slide from left to right across the top. And if you throw fire in the right place and with the right timing, you will do all the 35 hits that you need to do to him in order to kill him. Alright. So just one more medallion to go. We're going to pick up a couple things along the way. One we don't quote-unquote need, the other one we do. And when I say don't need, I mean like wouldn't get it in any percent. But we're going to kind of start out the same way we came to get to the first crypt, but then go a totally different direction. All right, yeah, the boss music in this game. There's two different boss themes, just for the bosses of the crypts, and then the final boss has his own theme, which is phenomenal. So you'll definitely be enjoying that, I'm sure. Damage here isn't a big deal because in just a couple of screens, we're going to be picking up yet another life upgrade, which is going to fill my health back to full. So we'll be good. Yo, Funk, the bell is not cheating. The bell is a very viable strat. Cheating, please. Alright. Speaking of the bell, we're going to use it right here to make this staircase appear. This staircase is going to transport us to this little temple in the sky. And we now have our strongest sword to match our strongest armor. Alright, so now that we have these two things, we can make our way to the final crypt that we're going to do in this game. In there, we will need to obtain one item. It's a shield upgrade. And then after that, it's one bomb upgrade, and then we will have satisfied 100%. Oh boy. Rather not take damage if I don't have to. Haha. Alright, so, like I said before, lots of walking to get to where you need to go in this sphere, so... Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Almost. Really just about like 4 more screens, I would say. Ouch! Yeah, now I have strongest stab, exactly. Very nice. Alrighty. Oh, thank you for not being a jerk. I do appreciate that. Thank you for being nice to me there too. That I also appreciate. Oh yes, having best fire for this room is wonderful. Now, there's a particular way you have to push these blocks, and if you do... Ooh, I almost did it. And if you do it wrong, you have to reset the room. So you definitely want to do that right on the first try. Which I did. I'm glad that I did that. Alrighty. Alright, so we just push our blocks around in here. Belt this open so that way we don't have to make a extra trip over to push a block that you would normally need to. Bomb our way south. This guy was guarding that door. Yes, just that one little blob. Oh, come on, pick it up. Thank you very much. That's the strongest shield. So what the strongest shield will block are the blue shots that came from the wizards and those ram enemies that were... Oops, I'm already on the right side. And the ram enemies that we saw in this sphere. But because I will not be encountering any more of them for the remainder of this run, I will not be, quote-unquote... Oh my god, get back here. I will not be, quote-unquote, using this shield upgrade at all. Oh, he almost boosted me back into the stairs. That would have sucked. Alright. So now we're just going to ring our way to the end. Yo, Bald Nate, thank you very much for the 140 bits. RGLTV would like to thank you for that. Ooh, I'll take that. Just make this a little easier. All right, now coming up here is one of the last bosses in the game, right? It is. It really is. Don't blink, folks. He's done. Strongest stab. This is why it's so important. And that, and also for the final boss, which we'll be fighting in just a minute here. We do have to make one more trip here just to get a completely meaningless bomb upgrade, just so we can satisfy 100%. Get out of my way. Dude, there we go. Okay. Alright. Alright, so now we have all 20 bombs. I will not be using another bomb for the rest of the run. Reuse the wings just to get us back to here a little quicker. Save our game, because why not? Get a life refill. And then now we face off directly with the evil wizard Death. You can see it's all icy. This is Antarctica after all. I need to hit him 32 times with my strongest stab. And I will be counting these, as well as my timing. Hello. Oh, boy. Might be an extra cycle here, we'll see. Nope, got him. Okay, so time is going to be in about 30 seconds or so. Once we get everyone together for a group selfie, and the screen fades to black. The way up until recently, time was actually on the final hit of Dearth. However, you can actually double KO there, and if you do, then you have to fight him again, and obviously we didn't want runs ending that way, so we amended it to be in just a few seconds here. We've got our whole group together. Everyone gather in for a shot. And time. All right. So that is Neutopia 100%. That estimate actually was for any percent. I knew it was going to take a little longer, so fake estimate. So yeah. So thank you everyone for the GGs. Also, a thank you for everyone who is watching and participating in this marathon. Specifically in regards to to the donations that you're making here. We just it just came up in chat, but I'm going to go ahead and toss it in there just one more time. So we have put together this marathon this weekend for excuse me for the Endure for Kindness cause, which is part of the Random Acts charity. What we are doing is specifically our donations are going towards fighting hunger, fighting childhood hunger, which is something I think we can all get behind, and some of you have been getting behind it with your donations, which has been wonderful, and we can't thank you enough for your generosity. You see here, we do have a goal of $1,500. We are currently sitting at $1,397, which is awesome. Just for a weekend-long marathon to raise that much is truly inspiring. And for all of you that have donated, thank you very much. For those of you that are able and are thinking about donating, I highly encourage you to do so. It is well appreciated, not only by the Retro Gaming Live TV team, but also by the beneficiaries of it. Oh, 1,420 now? Yo, there we go. Only $80 more to reach our goal, and we've still got plenty more action for you today. Speaking of the action that we've got coming up, oh, there we go, Super Moose FGC. Shout outs to that individual for bringing up the link here for our schedule that we've got going on here. We've still got a lot of stuff going well into the night here, so RGL TV is still going to be rocking and rolling for quite some time with this marathon, including what's coming up next. What's next is going to be a race between myself and the lovely effervescent Sparkover. We are going to be racing a little Legend of Zelda 1 randomizer, which is actually something that we do on RGL TV every other Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We alternate between doing that, which is hosted by Sparkover, and then there's also a Fightcade night, which is hosted by Elrock, another one of our RGL TV members who you probably saw running some stuff earlier in this marathon. So so Sunday evenings are fun around here. We all get together and have a good time, either with Zelda 1 Rando or with online fighting games. So you definitely want to be sure to check that out. So we will also be doing a little Zelda 1 for you here. And it's funny, it's almost 6 o'clock Eastern Time, which is normally when we'd be doing this. It's almost fitting. So so we're going to be getting that going in just a moment here. We're waiting just a moment for my partner to get my racing buddy here to get up and running. So there might be a minute or two where we're just kind of killing time, or just cycling through, waiting for Sparkover to get here. So I certainly hope that you are enjoying yourselves, and we'll continue to just to kind of talk about some of the stuff that we've got coming up here. Speaking of Elrock, after our Zelda randomizer race, he's going to be running Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, as well as Abobo's Big Adventure. That is, if you've never seen that game, you've got to stick around for that. There's a ton of humor in it, a lot of different elements to that game. It's a lot of fun. After that, we've got our what I like to call our AK block. That would be Afodak Cthulhu, who is another one of our RGL TV members. He's going to be running a whole bunch of stuff. He typically does Castlevania games, so you'll notice, with the exception of Super Punch-Out, which he's going to do to kick off his block, he's going to be doing a lot of Castlevania stuff. And then we're going to close this out in style with two of our heaviest hitters here at RGL TV. Enemy is going to be doing Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and then Toad is going to be doing the PS1 version of Final Fantasy. So we are definitely closing it out big time. Speaking of closing it out, the gap just got a little narrower. 600 bits here from, hope I'm saying this right, Drock Kaiser. Big ol' retro win for you, my friend. Thank you very much for your generosity there, and donating those bits is very much appreciated. Yes, charity, very nice, Catholic. Yeah, you've all got access to that Franker Phase C. You're going to do retro win, all one word, capital R, capital W. That's something that we like to do here when folks cheer or subscribe. Now, Bald Nate with the fantastic demonstration there. Your support is, there you go. Yeah, you can do yeah buddies for yourself if you donate 600 bits. I'll allow it. Thank you very much for that donation. Very, very generous of you. So yeah. Alrighty, so that is going to bring me to the end here, including the credits of Neutopia. I hope you all enjoyed that. If you enjoyed it very much, then what I would ask you to do is to give me a follow. I should be in that little featured button below the stream with the little purple heart. Go ahead and there and give me a follow. If this is a game that you enjoy. If this is a game that you thought was fun, wanted to learn more about, possibly get into speedrunning as well, I'm more than happy to teach you or to kind of show you the ropes when it comes to this. It's a very fun speedrun, definitely challenging, but one that I find enjoyable. So I would encourage you to reach out to me to learn more about that. Alrighty, so we are going to go into setup mode here for just a little bit, and then when we come back, you will have myself and Sparkover doing a little bit of Zelda 1 randomizer racing. So please, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Continue to stick around, and we will be right back with more action.